Go ahead and let me know in the chat if you have questions. We'll start with Jeff Ferrata.
Good afternoon, Peter. Can you just talk about what you see when you watch tape of TCU and in particular their quarterback, Max Duggan? What are his attributes?
Well, the first thing that jumps off, Jeff, is really the tempo in which they play, variety of the formations, the variety of the, some of the motions and the different ways they present plays. So that can be a big challenge for us, just the alignment and the tempo communication.
And the quarterback, Duggan?
Yeah, he's gotten better. He's I think he's pretty good with the ball in his hand in some of the zone read and the RPO game. Things that jump out, he can get the ball out of his hand quickly. He can make some fast decisions. He's elusive with his feet. And I think, he's still continuing to get better and better in the drop back pass game.
And if I could ask you a follow-up, a couple of your primary playmakers, Cam Good and Coyne, it didn't feel like they had a huge impact on the game, at least from my point of view, watching them. They weren't real noticeable out there. They're used to making a lot of plays that you do notice. I just wonder what you thought of their play and what you need from them going forward.
I thought they graded out actually really well, in terms of what we asked them to do. What we need them to do, the veteran players need to come through and they need to make veteran plays. I'm happy with how hard they played, with how they executed the techniques. We need to be able to, as a team, we need to be able to affect the quarterback more with four-man pass rush and a lot of things, that attributes to a lot of things. We have to do a better job in coverage. When the ball's caught and it's a quick three-step and the ball is thrown, those are going to be very challenging situations to rush the quarterback in. So we need to do a better job coverage-wise and putting it all together so the quarterback actually has to hold it for account for the pass rush to be able to get home.
On the flip side, it seemed like you defended the run quite effectively.
That's something that, we felt we had an opportunity to do well. I think the guys up front, two guys that jumped out on tape for me were JH and Luke. Both those guys in the interior part of the defensive line, I thought they were fantastic. Really JH made some plays. Luke, as you can imagine, made some plays in the run game as well. We played it with some light boxes in trying to outnumber some things on the outside, and that's I thought the run game was positive, but other parts need to be significantly improved.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll go with Trace Travers.
Yeah, Coach, you said Coyne and Cam graded out well in what you asked them to do. What did you ask them to do with regards to the Nevada game?
Yeah, there were some things in the run game, setting edges, coming underneath some blocks, or some different techniques that we were asking them to do that were unique to what the run game of Nevada had. They did a nice job in some of the coverage opportunities when we brought some of our sim pressures. They did a nice job matching some routes. So what we need to be able to do is give them a little more freedom to rush the quarterback on some of the down and distances, and just let them go and let them make some plays on their own talent, and kind of let them let their experience come through a little bit more on some of those tackles and let them go.
And on the TCU, they have, I guess, 4 guys who could easily run the ball for just about anyone in the country. What do you see from their run game in general?
Yeah, it's kind of very similar to what talking about, Jeff, is they're gonna present a lot of different formations on the run variety is not immense. But the presentations are going to be immense. We're going to see a lot of inside zone, what we call wind here, some split zone. You're going to see the ball on the perimeter and some of the traditional fly sweep looks. And they have really good lateral team speed, and they have a good variety at the wide receiver position. They have some really, really nice size, and they have some players that are going to be extremely elusive. So it's a good blend of how they built their roster.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll go to David Bush with Bear Insider.
Hi, Peter. Looking at the depth charts, the way that the positions are assigned, TCU looks a lot like Nevada. Are they similar in things they do on the field, or will it be a completely different look this week?
There's going to be a few formations, David, that share some similarities, but the style of play, the play calling, the tempo of the play is going to be nothing alike from what Nevada had.
And to get back to a little, could you go into a little more detail about Dugan, the quarterback, and the sort of things he does? I know he only played a half one Saturday, but you've probably have some look at him from the past.
Yeah, we've watched all the tape on Max. I think he's a good job. He's a lot of these style of offenses, the quarterback has to really be the engine that drives it. He's a person that makes a lot of decisions on the RPO game. On the run game, he has to make some decisions on the keeps and the gives. So there's a lot that goes through the quarterback in these styles of offense. And like I said before, he does a good job of making his RPO decisions. The ball can get out of his hand very quickly. When he does run the football, he's an effective runner with it. So he's going to be somebody that, the ball goes through him. The decisions are going to go through him. So he's going to be a huge part of the success of their offense.
Thanks, Coach. Good luck.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll go back to Jeff Ferrata.
Yeah, Peter, obviously Nevada had some high-level talent at receiver, but they got behind you guys 3 times for big plays. What did you think about the performance of your secondary?
Yeah, unfortunately, those 3 plays really stick out, and they were a huge part of the outcome of the game. I think when I went back and charted everything, I believe there were 3 of 11 for attempted passes over 20 yards. We did have a pass interference. We need to do a better job of executing the technique, and then, there was one ball in particular. We had every opportunity to make that a contested ball and to win that at the point of the catch. So we need to do a better job of understanding who we're playing. We need a better job of playing the technique, which we're asking. And then as the play caller, I need to help them as well. So it's not just the 11 guys on the field, but it's how we're coaching in the week. It's going to be some play call selections, and we collectively, this is we're all in this together. We enjoy it, and then when there's things to be corrected, we also need to all be in the same boat as well, and that falls on me and the rest of the coaching staff as well.
And what kind of challenges do the TCU receivers present? What's that group look like?
They're going to have size. They have 2 or 3 guys that I believe are over 6'2", 6'3", so they're going to be able to take some jump balls. They're going to be able to catch some contested balls, and then the other kind of half of the receiving core is going to be a little bit smaller. Doesn't mean any less effective, but sometimes they can run some different route trees, and they present a little bit of a different flavor and a different tempo of the RPO game with their quickness. So we're going to have to tackle people in space in the RPO game. We're going to have some one-on-one tackles when the ball is thrown, depending on how they want to handle the box count on defense. So we're gonna have to do a good job winning one-on-ones like we always do in the secondary, and do a good job of affecting the quarterback when the down and distance present itself.
Thanks. Safe travels.
Thank you.
Okay, Trace Travers.
And this is a bit of a silly question considering how much personnel has changed since the last time you played TCU, but I guess what changes do you see from that game to seeing them on film from last week in 2020?
Well, there's going to be some similarities. There's more similarities than dissimilarities, but like anything, it's offensive. You have philosophies, but as philosophies go, I think everything's going to continue to run through the skills, the strengths of your particular offensive skill players. So there's going to be some things that we have looked back on that, and we see some similarities, but the game is ever evolving, and then I think as you develop as a coach, or as you change as a coach, and what you're doing, how you're calling the game, those are always in flux. So similarities, a lot of similarities, but there's going to be some new wrinkles and some new flavors that are different.
Fantastic. Thank you.
Anybody